Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are doing a complete systems reboot on one of the most demanding jobs in tech, the product manager.
For sure.
I've gathered a really comprehensive set of sources here, not just to define the job, but to get at the cognitive operating system that separates a good PM from a truly great one.
That's the perfect way to put it, because the first thing that jumps out from this research is that the product manager is not the boss.
No, not at all.
They're the strategic center. They operate in this constant tension between three key domains.
And that tension is the entire job, isn't it? It's this constant balancing act between, one, user needs, do people actually want this?
Desirability.
Two, business goals, is it viable for us to do? And three, technical feasibility, can our engineers actually build this thing without it falling over?
Exactly. You lose sight of any one of those and the whole product just breaks down. So our mission today is to cut through the noise and give you a real working understanding of a PM's world, from strategy and user interviews all the way down to the frameworks they use to prioritize.
Okay, so let's get into it. The mindset.
Right. So the first big shift, the foundational one, is moving away from just managing a task list. It's about adopting a very specific cognitive blueprint.
And the cornerstone of that blueprint, from what I'm seeing here, is what the sources call problem-first thinking.
Yes.
We all have that instinct, right? You jump straight to the cool feature. But the great PM's first instinct is always to stop, to ask, what is the root problem here? Who does it affect? And why is it so important to solve it now?
That discipline is what protects the whole company from becoming a feature factory, which brings us straight to the next big concept. Output versus outcome.
Oh, this is a huge one.
It is. Shipping 50 features in a quarter, that's a lot of output. But if your user retention drops by 10% in that same quarter, you've completely failed on the outcome.
So output is what the team does. We launched a new wizard.
Right, activity.
But the outcome is the measurable impact of that action. It's not we built the thing, it's we reduced new user drop-off by 30%. It's a change in behavior.
Precisely. And to get those outcomes, you need systems thinking. Products aren't just a collection of features, they're interconnected ecosystems.
We've all seen that go wrong. Someone fixes one little thing, and it completely breaks something critical for another team downstream.
The PM has to map those dependencies, think about the trade-offs, and always be considering those second-order effects.
Okay, but what about when you don't have all the information? Because you never do, especially at the start.
And that's the last piece of the mindset, comfort with ambiguity. A great PM can't freeze when things are uncertain. They have to be willing to make a call, to find the smallest, fastest way to test an assumption and just keep the team moving forward.
So we have the mindset down, problem first, outcome driven. How do we actually put that into practice? What does the modern team structure look like?
It really starts with having super clear roles. The product manager defines the why the problem we're solving. The designer defines what it should look and feel like for the user. And the engineers define the how, the technical implementation.
So everyone owns their piece, but they're all focused on the same goal.
Exactly. And that collaboration flows through what's called the product development lifecycle, or PDLC. Think of it as a continuous loop. Discovery, then delivery, then iteration.
Okay, so break down discovery.
Discovery is all about validating the problem. Is it real? Is it important? Can we even solve it? This is where you do user interviews, build cheap prototypes. You want to fail fast and learn before you write a single line of production code.
And once you've validated that, you move into delivery.
Yep, that's the building, the testing, the safe launch. But it doesn't stop there. The second it's live, you're in the iteration phase. You're learning from how people are really using it.
You're looking at the data, the A/B test result.
And you're deciding, do we improve this, scale it, or maybe even kill it because it didn't work? And all of that learning feeds right back into the next discovery cycle.
Which is why they call it dual-track agile, right? This idea that discovery and delivery are always running in parallel.
Constantly. You're always learning while you're building. And frameworks like Scrum just provide the rhythm for that process. Sprints, daily scrums, retrospectives. It's all about transparency, inspection, and adaptation. It's the engine.
Okay, so if the mindset is the OS and the PDLC is the engine, then what aligns everyone? How do you get product, design, and engineering all on the same page?
That's where the foundational document comes in, the product requirements document, or PRD.
Right, but this isn't just a long list of features, is it?
God, no. A good PRD is a narrative. It has to start with a really compelling problem statement. Not just what we're building, but why, backed up with data or user quotes.
And it sets the boundaries. I saw this in the notes, the importance of not just goals, but non-goals. explicitly stating what you are not doing.
That is your single best defense against scope creep, the contract.
Then you get into the actual requirements with user stories and acceptance criteria.
A user story frames it from the customer's point of view. As a new user, I want to invite my team so that we can collaborate.
And the acceptance criteria make that testable. They turn it into a checklist. The invitation email is sent within 60 seconds. It has to be objective. You either did it or you didn't. Done.
And we can't forget the non-functional requirements, or NFRs.
The stuff that always gets cut when you're in a hurry.
Always. But it's so critical. This is performance. The page must load in under 500 milliseconds. It's security. It's scalability. Ignoring NFRs is how you build up a mountain of technical debt on day one.
And the key thing here is that the PRD isn't some stone tablet handed down from on high. It's a living document that evolves as the team learns.
It has to be. It's a tool for collaboration, not a rigid spec.
Okay, so this brings us to what might be the hardest part of the job.
Influencing without authority.
Exactly. The paradox, right? You're accountable for the outcome, but you can't actually tell anyone on the engineering or marketing team what to do.
Your entire job runs on influence, on credibility, clarity, and trust.
And that starts with being systematic about stakeholder management. The sources mention the power interest grid as a key tool here.
Yeah, it's essential. If someone has high power and high interest, like your direct boss, you manage them closely. Frequent updates, lots of collaboration.
But if they have high power and low interest, maybe a busy executive in another department, you keep them satisfied.
Right. Don't waste their time. Give them concise, need-to-know summaries. Respect their calendar.
A big part of that is also pre-alignment. The notes are very clear on this. Never, ever surprise a powerful stakeholder in a big meeting.
It's a rookie mistake. You talk to them one-on-one beforehand, you get their buy-in, you address their concerns, so by the time you're in the group forum, it's a formality.
And you have to speak their language. Create a shared purpose. You have to translate the benefits for each department. Security cares about reducing risk. Sales cares about closing deals.
It's all about framing.
So to make all this communication super efficient, especially with those busy execs, there's a framework, the context, signal, ask framework, or CSA.
This is a game changer. Let's break it down. Context is the one-sentence background. Signal is the key update or issue, backed by data. And the ask is the clear, direct action you need from them.
So no long rambling emails. It forces you to be concise.
It does. Let's say you need to pivot. It would be context.
Yeah.
Q3 data shows feature X usage is below target. Signal. Analytics show users are dropping off at the pricing page, not because of the feature itself. Ask. I need your approval to redirect 2 weeks of engineering time to fix the pricing page copy.
It's direct, it's data-backed, and it's actionable. They can say yes or no right there.
And exactly. It respects everyone's time.
Okay, so let's tie all of this together and connect it directly to you, the listener. Based on the notes we synthesized, especially your strengths in complex stakeholder management and operational problem solving, it all points to a really specific domain fit.
Right. The analysis is pretty clear that you are a best fit for B2B product management.
So think complex software as a service, internal company tools, things like that. These are environments that really reward that operational discipline you have.
And that's a key distinction from, say, BDCPM, which is often more about hypergrowth and viral loops. Your skills are a natural fit for navigating the complexity of business customers. B2B is where you can find early success.
But, and this is a big but, knowing the theory isn't the same as doing the work. The analysis also highlighted a few key areas for focused practice.
Yeah, the gap between theory and execution.
Specifically, problem discovery skills. That means actually running user interviews, learning to ask good, open-ended questions. Then there's writing practice, getting really good at writing clear PRDs and memos. And finally, data literacy, getting comfortable with things like A/B tests and retention curves.
So your next steps aren't about reading more books, it's about doing the drills.
Right. So to wrap this all up,
what we've really done today is synthesize the core operating manual for a modern PM. It's that combination of the problem-first mindset, a rigorous process like the PDLC, and then influential communication using tools like CSA. That's what drives outcomes.
That's the perfect synthesis. You now have the thinking of a mid-level PM. But the biggest challenge now is turning that knowledge into actionable proof. So your focus shouldn't be on memorizing definitions anymore. It's about the daily drill. Write one user story. Run one prioritization using a framework like RICE. Turn an ambiguous situation into a crystal clear ask.
I'd say pick one of those artifacts we talked about, a PRD outline, a narrative memo, and just commit to writing it this week. That physical act of structuring your thoughts is what makes this all real. It turns theory into a skill.
Go put the knowledge to work. Thanks for diving in with us.